who's the most difficult player for you to guard in the NBA in your first 3 years? Who would you say presents the most challenges for you?
That's a tough question. One, because I had to put my pride to the side and answer that.
Because you kind of don't want this person to know. Like.
Exactly. And it's like, they cook you, like, yeah, you remember, right? Like, I don't want
whisper to me, I tell him, whisper to him. I got you.
But I would say the guy that I probably struggled with a lot, like earlier on, was probably Shai. Because a lot of guys have a cadence of rhythm and like a timing that they play with. I don't know what his timing is.
Yeah.
Like you literally don't know. And he just moves so just different and like unorthodox. So I would say he's probably up there. I would say playoff series though, it was like you start to figure out more in a playoff series on how to guard people because you're so locked into what they're doing. And so I think I, did a little better in that playoff series. Obviously, he scores 30 a game. Like, I think that's the biggest thing people have to understand. Like, if a person scores 30 and averages 30 for the whole season, they can score on anybody.
Right.
They can score on anybody. So people are like, oh, he's getting cooked. He literally averages 30.
Yeah.
Like,
this is what his average is.
This is his average for 82 games. He don't sit out games either. So, yeah, he doesn't.
That's
so
crazy.
Nah, Shai is a tough coverage, man.
Yeah.
Shai is because he does have like just a weird, not a weird way of moving, but like it's like he does things where you don't think he's attacking you, but then when you guard him, he's like, oh, this motherfucker attacking me right now. And before you know it, it's like he's left hand scoop layup. Like,
bro, playoff game 2, literally, because like first game I guarded him pretty well. Like he was like, I think 1 for 9 or something like that. Game 2, he was probably like 5 for 5 on me, but didn't miss one. And he was backpedaling and going forward at the same time. And I'm just like, and then they showed it on film. I'm like, did y'all even just see what he did? You could have guarded that? Like,
that's crazy.
He got some shit.
Like he went
between some shit.
How did he do that? How do you backpedal and go forward?
Trust me, I don't know how to explain it, but if you see it on film, you're like, okay, he backpedaled and went forward. Like,
speaking of defense, we got to talk about your ability now to play both ends, being a two-way guy. Like, where did
I appreciate
someone
that
put
now.
pressure?
Yeah, I appreciate you saying now.
No, I mean, I think this past season you took a step towards being a defender. I mean, of course, people, you have this is the player that's coming into the league. So, like, when you're looking on the scouting reports, good defender.
Be blunt.
Like,
go ahead.
It wasn't like, oh, okay, he's a defensive player now.
Yeah.
But I think you took a huge leap in like challenging of offensive players this season. Did someone like were you like, man, you know what, I need to be better this year defensively? Was there a coach? Was there, you talked about Herb being your guy. Was it looking at Herb, what he can do? I'm similar frame, similar body style. Like I can compete on that end the same way. What was your approach this season and how you got better on the defensive side?
I've always pointed to one specific game. It was a Lakers game here in LA. And that was probably one of the worst defensive performances I've ever had in my entire life.
That's all it takes.
And I literally told myself I will never feel like this again.
What happened? What happened?
Just getting cooked.
Somebody was just frying you, or you just like?
I mean, it was everybody.
Closeouts, like blow-bys.
No, it was literally everybody. Like I almost hurt Bi because I got bumped off the line, fell, hit him. Yeah. He's laying down, holding his eye, like, and then D'Lo, he hit like 4 straight threes as well. And you know how D'Lo can get very, very hot.
Right.
And then also Coach Green, he's very defensive minded already. And so it was literally after that game, like me and him sat down. He was just like, "You got to help me. Like you got to give me something on that end because." Anyway,
you're good.
Anyway, I remember because we played Portland the next day, and I just knew I had to be better. And then from that day, it was literally like I was just locking up. I was paying attention to people's tendencies, like, and just taking on challenges. I remember, like I said, like when we played against y'all, they were talking about matchups, and I was like, no, like I want to guard PG. Like that's a matchup I want to see. Like I watch enough film. I know I'm not gonna say I know exactly what he's gonna do, but I know what he likes to get to. So I want to take on that challenge, and I feel like I did a pretty good job that night.
You locked him up?
It was in New Orleans?
No, this was in LA.
Yeah, y'all gotta.
Go ahead.
Y'all,
I ain't gonna say I locked him up.
Y'all present a tough because it's Trey out there, it's Bi out there, it's Herb out there, like.
And then also Zion, towards the end of the year, he was locking up.
He was
too.
guarding.
And he was blocking shots crazy
and then
too.
GTA is a pest. Like it's just y'all should and are dangerous defensively. Like
Absolutely.
y'all create turnovers. Y'all got the long arms to kind of shut the floor down and make the floor smaller than what it is. So y'all was a tough cover. Y'all was a tough cover. I have no problem saying that.
No.
But I will be ready for y'all next year. I will say that.